Hello there everyone, it's me, Nita Rose, and this is my manga review of Rave Master Volume 34, starting out with Chapter 281 and ending it with 289. Now further ado, let's get started. So after seeing that sudden transformation from his opponent, Let realized he is outmatched, even after sacrificing his own life. For a while, he thought back to the time when he did, but only to defeat the enemy. But this time, it was too powerful, but he still has one more trick up his sleeve. He is willing to transform into a dragon, but at the cost of his humanity and emotions. We saw a flashback of him and Julia having this conversation about his decision about turning into a dragon if only necessary. The scene keeps going back and forth between the present of the fight and the flashback of their conversation, and in the end, Let has won. The crew on the outside are still dealing with the monsters as they come aboard the ship. Meanwhile, Julia might have noticed that Let is still down there and willing to go to him. And Ruby is still dealing with this little guy. Muska is chasing after Haru, and Haru is still running after the guy who took Ellie. Haru managed to knock him down from the sky, and then the little demon transformed into... wow, that's disturbing to look at for me. Haru wants to know what Lucia wants with Ellie. Lucia plans on marrying Ellie after destroying the world and all humanity. He also plans to make Ellie the mother of the next generation in the new world. Haru will not have any of that and goes in for the attack. The demon used all the shadow stones on his body to attack Haru, but is surprised that he didn't turn to stone. That's because Plu is using his nose to break some of the stones. The demon kicked Plu off and is willing to attack him, but then Haru used his own body as a shield to protect Plu. The demon was confused and wondering why would the Rave Master become a shield for a small creature, while Haru said that everyone will come back alive as Plu nodded his head. The demon started attacking Haru over and over again, and then the sword started glowing. The demon is willing to break the sword as Haru lays there hopeless, then he hears a voice from his deceased father. This gave him the strength to stand up again as he calls the sword towards him, and Haru finally takes down the demon. Now the only thing left that Haru needs to do is to find Ellie, but Plu beats him to it and frees her from the imprisonment. She wakes up to see Haru, smiles, but then falls unconscious again. Lucia shows up claiming her as his wife, but Haru goes in for the attack but was stopped by one of Lucia's minions under his orders. While Lucia takes Ellie back with him, Haru is on the ground as Lucia disappears. The Lion Man was about to kill Haru but then saved by Shura. Shura is facing off against the Lion Man. When he looked over at Haru, he remembered Gale wanted to do nothing more than protect his family, and Shura is willing to fulfill that role. Shura takes on the demon with the power of fire and flames, but was outmatched by the demon and using Shura's elements against him. He would have easily dodged that attack, but can't leave the spot where Haru is lying. Shura is willing to take the attack head on while reminding himself of Gale's glory and his status as a warrior, and that he could never match himself equally, but here he's willing to sacrifice anything to protect his son. Shura takes down the Lion Man with every strength he has left, but the Lion Man caused an earthquake and Shura almost fell with him. He tried to pull himself back up, but the small area around him crumbled. Haru managed to catch him before he fell down further, and it was deja vu from last time. Shura's entire goal was to surpass Gale, and after defeating the Lion Man, he succeeded that goal. Now he's wanting to take his own life, but Haru's words stopped him from chopping off his other arm and decided to live. But his hand slipped due to the high temperature, but he managed to save himself by thrusting his sword into the wall and then climbing himself back up. Muska comes along and sees Shura on the ground badly injured. Shura tells him that Haru is going to save Ellie and asks Muska to go after him since Haru's injury is far worse than his. The scene cuts to Lucia putting on a magic bracelet on Ellie's wrist which stops her from using her powers. Once Ellie wakes up, she backs away from Lucia and he shows her Endless. Ellie takes this opportunity to destroy it, but she can't as she knows the bracelet on her wrist is blocking her magic. Lucia comes up to her and tells her about the world they will live in after this one is destroyed. But Ellie took her turbo blaster and shot Lucia in the face, but he caught the bullet in his teeth. Even though Lucia chose Ellie as his wife, doesn't mean he's gonna show her any mercy when he's angry. He grabbed her by the hair in demand of a kiss of loyalty, but gets spat in the face instead. Classic. Meanwhile, Musica ends up finding Haru, sees how badly injured he is, and knows that Haru is so demanding to save Ellie that he wouldn't listen to reason, and so he decided to carry him. Lucia kicked Ellie to the ground for spitting on him, and then Endless's power started growing rapidly as Lucia gave Ellie a choice: be with him or die. But she chose neither of them as she has faith in Haru. Meanwhile, Musica is carrying Haru when he noticed Ruby coming along and still being attacked by that little bat thing. Musica got rid of the thing as Ruby is grateful, but then he pulled out an elixir, but he can't open it. Musica gets the bottle open and he gives it to Haru. The power of Endless started to grow again as everybody sees it from the distance, and they recognize that it's overdrive. Lucia had a delightful smile on his face as he wants to bring Ellie with him to the new world, but Endless told him to kill her. Endless realized that Ellie has the power to destroy him. Lucia didn't understand. If he doesn't bring her with him, there will be no new generation. Endless relays that the messenger of light will come soon, and that made Lucia think of Haru with an angry expression. But Endless convinced him to kill Ellie, as it is Mother's will. Everything started crumbling down as Musica and Ruby are noticing that Haru is climbing up the cliff along with Blue. Musica and Ruby watch Haru climb up while they rest for a bit. And then the little starman came down with Ruby's hat, his weapon, and Ellie's staff. Musica noticed an army of soldiers coming towards them as they are followers of Lucia. Meanwhile, Lucia is torturing Ellie as Endless keeps telling him to kill her, and he decided he's gonna go alone and ask Ellie her will before she dies. She replies saying that she didn't spend 50 years for her to die there. Lucia pinned her to the wall as he told her about the many people who have died because of her, but she refused to give up. Lucia gives a speech about how humans dare to control time and space to give a fake world, a sin of disobeying God, and Lucia wants to obey that guy by ending her life. Now, just before she gets slashed, you know who shows up and kicks Lucia out of the way. Ellie is set free as she's delighted that he came, and here is where we end the volume. But what do you guys think of this volume? Do you like it? Dislike it? Please tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, you may subscribe and hit the notification button. And I'll see you all next time.